hours and 18 minutes remaining. Crew of the Desert Bus, I believe I have to make an announcement at this point. Commander on deck.
Commander on deck.
Oh. Hello. Ladies and gentlemen of the chat, it's star of stage and screen and screen and screen, I believe, Jennifer Hale. Welcome.
I can't see. Is there a button you put all you got?
We'll have to talk to our engineering department about that.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
Perfect. Calibration's complete. Excellent.
I'm trying to find the right one. So I can. How is it?
We're excited here.
Yeah!
Excited to have you on. Yeah, so everyone probably knows you, of course, from your work most recent, well, not most recently, but probably quite famously on the Mass Effect trilogy of games, and we have lost Jennifer Hale.
The Reaper's got her.
That was a fantastic haul, Jennifer Hale.
I'm sure we'll get her back.
Tune in again next year.
Okay, yeah.
Stall for time.
Push the button, don't push the button. There she is.
Yay!
Sorry about that.
Here comes Jennifer Hale. Hello, welcome back again.
Thank you. Whose birthday?
Oh, it was actually our previous driver, Ashton's birthday. So
Awesome.
yeah, now that we've put something up, we can never take it down again. We are big on tradition here.
Pretty much.
As I was just saying, we probably know, a lot of people don't probably know you best for the Mass Effect games, as they're probably big. What are you into mostly these days? What's your current big project?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a couple I can't talk about. What can I talk about right now? Well, no, I can't talk about that. That's my problem, is I can't talk about anything.
That's fun. What would you like to talk about?
I mean, I can talk about some of the animation stuff, which is, not the same crew, but like, Powerpuff Girls, Avengers Assemble, regular show, all that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
No, that would be completely fine. Let's actually go into Avengers Assemble there, because I know a lot of us on the couch here are big fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its various spin-offs. What do you do there? I'm not familiar with that.
I've got several characters going in the new series. I'm Friday, Songbird, gosh, who else? I can't remember. I think I've got about 3 or 4 characters rolling in that series right now.
Awesome.
And a lot of recurring stuff. Yeah, super, super fun.
And you say you're in the new Powerpuff Girls research. That sounds super exciting.
I'm so excited.
Super. I'm not allowed to talk about that one either. It's so crazy. Everything's under an NDA right now, which is insane. It's not national defense, but I get it.
Well, you know what? That just puts us all the more at bated breath when it comes out.
Right?
Yes.
It's fun. Like, I've developed my own version of the Men in Black stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember anything I did that day. So then I'm never in danger of pissing someone off.
Well, I mean, that leads to...
But what else? I mean, Star Wars is ongoing. Star Wars, the game stuff is ongoing. Republic is ongoing. The Long Dark is so much fun, and it's an amazing Canadian project. And what else can I talk about? I can't talk about that, and I can't talk about that.
Yeah. So, well, I guess the question that's on everyone's lips here is, you recently showed up in a teaser trailer for Mass Effect Andromeda, which is super exciting. And what can you say about that?
Awesome to do, and it was very moving to do, and I flippin' love working with that team, man. They're just the greatest, just to be able to work with those writers and that. I have to say though, that's becoming true of a lot of many gaming companies now. Like, I go in there and I'm so excited because just the quality and the level of everything is getting so good. Like, people are expecting more, and people are delivering and raising the bar every day. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
It's an amazing time we live in, golden age for
It really
voice work
is.
within
I mean, it's
video
so, it's
games.
the Wild West a little bit, but it's totally the golden age too.
So,
Yeah.
while we're on the topic of your Mass Effect work here, we got a couple questions from the chat here. First off, we want to ask, who would you leave on Vermeer? I mean, I know
All the reporters.
all the reporters. Perfect question. And just because it's here so many times, what is your favorite store on the internet right now?
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite place on the Citadel.
Now that we've got that out of the way,
And that was all the questions.
Right. That.
I have a very odd question from our own engineering department. Can you turn your phone sideways?
Yes.
Oh!
Did that just change the whole universe? Or what?
The entire universe just got much bigger, so perfect.
Oh, I'm so happy. All right, cool.
So, getting a little bit meta here, dear Dr. Jennifer, I read that you didn't record all of your lines in Mass Effect in order. How do you know the proper emotion to convey for each scene?
It's a crazy sort of juggling act that we do, acting in games. We get told the sort of arc of the story in the beginning, like before the whole production starts. Like, I remember sitting down with Mac and Caroline and going over like the whole arc of everything. But then it's a mishmash. You get the lines, right? So when I had a given line, I would say, okay, they'd let me know, or if we were just sort of busy and no one had let me know, I'd say, okay, where are we on the timeline? So I'd know what just happened. And then I'd know, I always go through the checklist with myself before I open my mouth, which is, I never think about how I'm going to say what I say. I just think, it's standard acting stuff. Who am I talking to? What do I want? What just happened? Who am I as a human being? How do I get what I want? What's in my way? How do I get through it? What do I have to be careful of? What's my environmental consideration? Is it loud? Is it quiet? Am I hiding from someone? And what do I want the other person to do right this minute? And then I speak. So that's how I decide.
Wow.
And that all happens like that.
Wow, so you're actually you're right there keeping all those timelines in your head in addition to emotion and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not tracking emotion because real human beings, they don't go into their day and go, I want to feel this, except, maybe happy. Real human beings just go through their day trying to get stuff done, and in the course of having that day, they have feelings they don't really want to have, and they have to get through them, so they can have a good day. And that's what I try to bring to life,
So I guess follow-up question there on that. With regards to feeling that emotion in the moments, what role has given you the most emotion, that you've had the most emotional resonance with?
Where were my biggest feels? Gosh, so many. I mean, the longer projects you get to, and the ones with, like Mass Effect, for example, that was one of them for sure, because you have so many deep relationships going on that you get to walk through and live through. And then just to do a project for that long, to live in a character for that long, you really get to go to depths that you usually only get to go to in a series, like an animated series or an on-campus series or something. That's definitely one. And plus, the evolution of the acting style in the last few years has enabled me to really live in some spaces and act in some ways that I enjoy the most. Especially now that I'm doing so much mocap like that, you get to bring it to life fully, which is so awesome.
So I guess now that you're properly inhabiting all of these characters and you know what happens from start to finish in all of these plot lines, the question focuses around Knights of the Old Republic, but I think it really applies to any of them. What endings do you feel are the canon endings?
Oh. All right, I'm going to poll the room for that one.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, well, let's go with the easy one. Mass Effect. Are we
Which Mass Effect?
Well,
three?
like
Okay.
the end
The
of the
series.
series.
No spoilers. We'll just go with colors.
Oh,
Red.
I was about to leave the room.
So I'll start with me just because I have a prepared answer on this one, which is red ending is canon, but my shepherd went green.
Same.
My shepherd went red.
My shepherd went green.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Green.
Yeah, I had spent
Wow.
so long in that game, like making friends with everybody that it felt wrong to throw anyone completely under the bus at that
Agreed.
point.
That's exactly it. I couldn't pick any of the endings other than that, the green ending, just because that's who I was at that point.
Well, it's well established that when both you and I play games, we pretty much go full like paladin.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think I went green too.
So
Plus your
that's a question that that we should pitch back your way. Renegade or Paragon?
Oh, my answer is always Paragon is who I wish I was, and Renegade is what I wish I could say.
That's legit.
That's
That's
good.
great. That's a great answer.
While we're on the topic of getting right down to the feels here, dear Dr. Jennifer, as a transgender fan, I would love to hear something about your experience in voicing Krem in Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yes.
Awesome.
More and better exposure, especially in such a big title, is so important, and I thought that Krem was really awesome.
Thank you. That means the world. I mean, that was a huge deal for me. That was a huge honor to be asked to do that. It just felt like a huge responsibility because, I mean, that's a whole portion of, a whole segment of our people that has been underrepresented, and it was a big deal to be able to bring that to life. I spent a decent amount of time watching documentaries so I could get it right. And then just, the truth about any character of any orientation or any, expression of themselves or really any moral compass, good, bad, or otherwise, is they're just human beings. They just want to get stuff done. And at the bottom, we all want to belong, we all want to love, and we all want to get what we want. Everybody just goes about doing it in a different way. And it was a huge honor to be able to play that character. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, here's another question here. Do you have, or have you ever had any unusual methods for getting into a character yourself?
That's a yes.
I mean, I guess we all have our tics, I suppose. Like if I'm playing, it's funny because the only days I can wear a dress to work is if I'm playing like, some of my characters on Powerpuff Girls or a couple of my characters on Avengers, I can get away with the dress. Some of my Justice League stuff I could. And maybe Cinderella, but most of the rest of the time, if I'm like a commander or a soldier, I can't wear a dress. I have to wear pants.
You literally have to put on your big girl pants.
I have to put big old pants. I take off my shoes. I hate wearing shoes. And gosh, I don't know, weird stuff. I move around a lot. I can't record sitting down. I can't handle it. I have to stand up. So I need my space, and I will flail and hit the stand and make noise and screw things up because I'm moving around. I love that. But I've trained my mouth to stay in like a box. Microphone right there, but the rest of me is all like moving. Yeah.
So, are you inside of your at-home recording studio right now? Is that what we're seeing?
I am. Yeah, it's unfinished, but I mean it's been unfinished for 3 years. A work in progress. Yeah, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing my studio. Look, this is the light. I went on YouTube. I've never installed a light before, and I had this stupid light sitting here forever, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. So I went on YouTube one Friday night. This is what I do. I nerd out on Friday nights. And I like installed this light all by myself.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
And then I installed, you can't tell what it is, but that's a dimmer. I'm so proud of that thing.
Oh, cool.
'Cause I opened that box up and it looked nothing like the YouTube video. I was like, oh my God, there's just so many wires. And I kill myself because thank God my panel is over here. And yeah. So this is my space. This is my unfinished space. Where's that? That's my guitar. My dancing girl. And then those are my doors. I only have one door shut right now, but this is my little tiny universe. It's
That
my
is so
cocoon.
cool.
Yeah, it's my cocoon. And I sit on the floor. I'm sitting on the floor with my little Yuki.
Ukulele.
Don't ask me to play. I'm horrible.
Nope. Quite all right. So earlier we spoke about the Long Dark. Someone in the chat would like to know how your experience was performing on the Long Dark, and if you have any stories on that.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Just to be, it's really, I owe that whole thing to Mark Meir. And of course Raphael on the team, but I just saw this tweet that he did, and I looked at it, and I'm I'll invite myself to stuff all the time, and I jumped on Twitter, and I was like, oh my god, I want to do it. And so they got a hold, we got in touch, and it worked out, and then I'm like, oh, and can I bring all my friends? So it was really fun, and one of my favorite things has been listening to Mark's work. I mean, the trailer for that thing, I called Mark after I heard it, and I was just gushing on his phone, on his machine, about how phenomenal he sounded on that trailer. It was just incredible. And when we recorded up in Canada. I was up there visiting some family, because I'm dual. I'm Canadian as well. Ooh. And I was up visiting family, and so I got to do a recording session there with Raphael and Dave and some of the team. And Raphael was in the room with me, and we were doing some of the stuff, some of the more difficult conditions is all I can say. And he had to sit there and listen to me, go through what I was going through, the difficult, challenging, physical conditions. And he was so uncomfortable. He was like, that's good, that's enough. And I'm like, I'm fine. It's just what we do.
Fantastic. One other thing, our chat, or rather our engineering team would like me to ask, how was working on Broken Age? And what's it like working with Tim Schafer?
Mm. What do you think it's like? It's amazing. I mean, Tim and Chris Brown and that whole team, it's incredible to be a part of that thing, and also to get to play a character that's, a little different than I've been doing, so maternal and so coming from that place, and in that kind of an aesthetic too. That was super cool to be in that world. The visuals are phenomenal, and just the story, and I like the whole, I'm not going to, no spoilers, but just the whole trajectory of that character and what's actually going on there is incredible, Yeah.
So that said, actually, going from media production to media consumption, should you ever have the time for that sort of thing, what are some of your favorite characters to watch? And is there anyone you wish you could actually get into the character of? Be it
Oh, yeah. I want to be Adama in the new Battlestar Galactica.
Yes! Oh, that would be amazing.
Whoa.
Would that be?
You may have just launched a new Twitter campaign.
Oh, dude, make it so. Sorry to mix my metaphors.
Look, I hear there's a new Star Trek series coming together too. We can probably see if we can push you to that.
Yeah.
Dude, let's do this, shall we? I don't do on camera very often, but when I do, I have a really good time. It's really fun.
That would be so good.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? Let's make this happen. That's actually one of my favorite things that I'm getting to do now is like some of these like side projects. Was it Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt have that awesome little series called Shelf Life? They're action figures. And I got to do with Stephen Dengler and some other people. I got to do Laura and Travis and Liam O'Brien and Travis Willingham and all those guys are in it, and I got to do an episode of that, and I played this just psychotic character. And anything where I get to work with my friends or on cool creative stuff is just, that's what it's all about.
Fantastic.
Any questions from the chat?
Any questions from in the room here while we've got you on the line?
Well, we do have, do we want to go to the mandatory question? I feel like talk about action figures brings us to the
I think that's a really good
$9 Nemesis.
Yeah.
Oh!
Do you want to?
Please.
Oh, okay. So we have a question that we ask every person that calls in. And the question for this year is, if you were a big, supervillain, what superhero would be your nemesis? So it can be an existing superhero. I think most of the ones have been existing that we've...
Donald Trump.
That makes him the hero, though.
Yeah, is Donald Trump
Yeah,
a
they really
superhero?
want him to be the hero. I guess in his world he is.
He's got the superpower. It's the hair.
Yeah.
So what would be your nemesis name then? if you were the or your supervillain name if you were the nemesis of Trump?
My supervillain name can be Truth Serum. No, Truth Enema. I don't know.
That's your superpower.
My supervillain would be Common Sense. I don't
Yes,
know.
yes. I love it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, we're currently also running a donation drive here for a Mass Effect Alliance cruiser ship replica in the Bronze Edition.
Oh yeah,
Bronze,
we should
yes.
get that started pretty soon. I don't think we started
Yeah, we
it
haven't
yet.
started
Yeah,
that.
we haven't started that yet. So I think we were about to get that started with you here on the line.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So now here's the question, because we need to know how long to run these things for. What's an appropriate amount of time, given your various works, or especially your Mass Effect work, that you think this should run for?
How long should?
So it's a donation drive. People will be donating, I think,
$11
And 7 cents
$7
for
that's right.
to enter to
End 7
possibly
day.
win it. And at the end of this time frame, we will pick a winner.
All right, let's see. Who else is doing donation drives? What other projects are doing donation drives?
We just did one with Mikey Newman. He donated it was a giant foil uncut magic card sheet.
Magic cards.
So I think we did a half an hour for that donation drive.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was a really long trilogy.
So maybe 10 minutes per episode. We're gonna speed run this.
You want to speed run it?
We can do longer as well.
Yeah, we can go longer than 3 minutes.
No,
We can go
I
speed.
like speed runs.
Okay.
I do 10 minutes per episode, and then an extra 5 minutes for the DLC.
Okay.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
35
35
minutes.
minutes. So at 10:40.
Yep.
People in the chat, you have your orders from your commander. $11.07 is your donation for 35 minutes for the Mass Effect.
And this is my favorite giveaway on the internet.
Well, you know what? I don't know if I can find a better way to end this particular interview. Thank you so much, Jennifer Hale, for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, you guys. It was a blast. It was an
Thank you
absolute
so much.
blast.
Excellent. Hopefully we'll see you again in the future.
Yeah, have a good time. Go be safe. Go do good things.
Shepard.
That was awesome.
Okay, we can all unclench now.